There you go.
All right, so we are calling the meeting to order at 5:03. And let's go ahead and stand for what we're supposed to do. That's agendas, right?
Yeah.
And stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have a flag related whatever, and I'm not the guy that like is super whatever about this kind of stuff. But I found it interesting. I was driving somewhere, I can't even remember where, and they had the old Minnesota flag up. Some private residence. I was like, oh, they're fighting the power about the whole Indian ride in the sunset, whatever. And then I pull in and I was like, hey, we're still flying the old flag. Not that I'm a big whatever on that kind of stuff, but I just found it interesting.
It's been ordered for a month and a half. It's just back ordered.
Okay, cool. Not that
Okay.
that's the biggest issue in the world.
Well, that's a fair question, though. I've asked it a few times,
Yep.
so.
Yep.
So we're supposed to approve the agenda as
Yep.
our 3.0 approval of agenda. Do we need a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 4.0 acknowledgements and recognitions. Do we have anything for that? I'm not able.
We do not.
Okay. And so recognitions of visitors and community comments. We don't have anyone sign up for community comments, I presume.
Correct.
If there's anyone out there watching, welcome. Thank you. And then 6.0 reports. 6.1 is the principal.
What are you
report.
doing watching a Zoom of a school board meeting on a beautiful day in July?
They're being actively involved and concerned.
This is
Right.
a get a life.
I did not get a report and he will not be here.
Yeah. Are you recording? Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's no principal report tonight. I will share a quick superintendent report if that's okay.
Yes, please.
I did not put one in the packet. My apologies to you. I want to thank the folks in the district office for keeping the wheels on the train while I was out for about 2.5 weeks dealing with the family situation. So no written report, but a couple of updates for board members. I continue to work with ICS and RAP strategies on referendum communications. I did meet with CCEA leadership on Tuesday of this week regarding engaging the CCEA and advocacy work as we get closer to the fall launch of the school year. And just today, I started scheduling a slate of presentations to places like the chamber, the EDA, some more local entities. I've made the offer to the county commissioners and the city of Marais, also Grand Portage, both the tribal council and through Maria, through the LIEC. So a lot's going to be starting to roll out as we get things scheduled, and just stay tuned with that, but that's taken a bunch of time. I did cancel my registration for the ARC superintendent's gathering on Monday and Tuesday due to just being out so much in the last couple of weeks. I need to be in the office. And then lastly, a celebration and a thank you to Rena. We had negotiations, and Teresa. We had negotiations most of the day on Tuesday with our 2 different Teamster groups. And we think we're at a tentative agreement with both groups, and they'll be bringing it back to their group for a vote. And hopefully we'll have contracts to approve in
One meeting,
August.
pretty good.
One information gathering meeting, and then.
Yeah, because they didn't have their folks there.
Yeah, and then one like real meeting. Yeah, and it was very respectful, and
Well, it's a good meeting.
so that's what I got for you on the superintendent's report. And then in your packet, there is a written QComp report. That is an annual requirement of QComp by MDE, just kind of identifying how many teachers achieved their growth goals and things like that. And there are no changes to the QComp plan itself from last year to this next year. So
Too many acronyms for a beautiful day in July. Sorry, just not having it.
QComp, quality compensation.
right.
Okay.
And it's a teacher, money that goes to the teachers if they meet certain goals.
Cool.
Short. I probably should have
teachers.
done a school board report for attending the YMCA meeting. I
Oh,
did that for you.
Thank
It
you.
was
Yes,
Really smooth.
I
and
forgot that
fine.
even happened.
That happened. It was smooth and fine, and I even shared quite a bit of information and implied they should check out vikingsvisions.org and
Perfect.
visions, right? vikingvisions.org,
Vikings vision.
Vikings Vision.
And that must have triggered a thought because I have a request for a meeting with, is it Alex?
Mhm.
And so I'm gonna meet with him tomorrow morning about the referendum.
So I shared quite a lot of that information and even kind of chuckled that it's been called the pickleball gym.
Where did that come from?
Never before, but the idea of what.
Wait,
what's-
they called it that?
No, I told them,
Oh.
we kind of chuckled and called it the pickleball gym and discussed the idea of how it could be a part of
Their gym.
community. Well,
The live gym.
the access to
shared
have gyms available.
Oh, the new gym.
More times of the day, right? Like
The new gym or?
the,
The
what I
current
discussed
gym
that
that's-
we had 3 different questions that would be on the ballot and people
This
could
would be-
support it. So
Oh, so this is the
so
new
the-
gym.
the
It's quote unquote the
additional-
pickleball.
the second additional gym, because one is on question 1 anyways,
Right.
right? The second additional gym and just kind of the idea of how the continued partnership could allow for use of the gym for all different times of the day. My dream is that if it gets voted for, that kids could have access to the Y gym after school. Because the sports would be.
Right.
Anyways, just kind of shared that they should check that information out.
Well, thank you for being there. In my stead, I appreciate it.
So QCOM report 6.3.
Yeah, I just verbally spoke
You
to
just
it a little
verbally
bit.
did it,
Yeah,
that's good
it's
enough.
a link in your packet. You
Mhm.
can read through it there if you like. Lacey Smith provided plenty of detail about the program, so.
Yeah.
Thanks to Lacey.
All right, thank you. Moving on to the consent agenda. Do a motion to approve the consent.
I'll make a
agenda?
motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Discussion and action items, 8.1, accept the June 2024 expenditure revenue report.
All right, I just have a few things to comment on. So it's really the line in the very middle, it's not highlighted. The gray lines are from last year and the unhighlighted lines are for this year. So year-to-date 23-24, there'll still be some movement in that lane because of year-end paying of invoices that meant to be in, fiscal year 24, and then just money that's coming in that didn't make it here by June 30th, that will then get added into those numbers. So I do know that if we just look at the totals, if you look at the total fund 135, the highlighted, bold numbers, it looks like we're ahead $500,000. Chris pointed that out to me, and I just wanted maybe focus right now just on the big number on top, the total totals, that were about $250,000 shy of being balanced, but I do have ESSER funds and title funds that make up that difference. So we're really quite balanced. We're at 0. So there'll be a few things that'll fluctuate as I go through the next couple of weeks. I'll be doing that tax spread because most of the revenue is in that general fund line, number 1, that's almost $10,000. That'll get spread out amongst, transportation, capital and debt services. So there'll be some moving parts still, but we are ending the year with good, even keel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing that too, keeping track of that.
So do we have a motion to accept? Do we have to have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Any conversation, questions, discussion? All in favor?
Alright.
Aye, motion carries. Approve, 8.2, approve resolution for filing dates for the 2024 school board election. And that's also in our packet.
For members of the public to know, the resolution calls for the filing window to be July 18th through August 13th. So that's the window for people to file for school board, and there are 2 seats up this year from District 2, which is Grand Marais East. Currently, that's Carrie's position, and then District Area 4, which is the Gunflint Trail area that Stephanie Radloff is representing. So those are the 2 seats that are open. The dates to file are the 18th of July through August 13th. And we just need the resolution to be passed so we can move forward.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I,
Motion carries. Item 8.3, approve the resolution to designate the Iowa.
This is an annual process, and we do it in July, just because that's when districts hire and start their brand new superintendents. So it fits in the July agenda.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
I just think it's funny we have to like do a resolution to acknowledge Iowa. Aren't they a state?
What a terrible act.
Oh, I totally just got your little joke.
That's
Took
pretty
me
catty.
a moment.
Your little joke.
I know, right?
You're delightful
Yeah, thank you.
banter. I'm sorry. Item 8.4, approve 2024 legislative session model policy updates, red line and updated model policies.
So I'll just make comment that this is being done in one motion due to the fact that all of the changes are as a result of legislative changes. So when the legislature does their thing, all of our policies need their numbers and shalls and mays all corrected to align with statute.
And this has all been done? All right.
MSBA does it basically for us.
Oh,
Yeah, and then Kay goes through and tightens them all up one at a time. So thanks, Kay. That's a heck of a lot of work.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of policies.
There's a lot of policies, yeah. And usually when it's legislative, they just give you the red line and you make the, what's the word, kind of the clerical changes in there. And away you go, so.
Okay. I'll make a motion to accept that.
I'll second. With the note that, man, you administrators do a good job doing tedious stuff. Holy man.
Policy is tedious.
Thank God for adults in the world.
It wouldn't be getting done without Kay. Kay is a machine on this
And
stuff.
Kay, way to go, Kay, thank you. I would have to say, over the period of time that I've been here, that the policies are in much better shape
They
than
are.
they were.
Slowly, yeah.
I was just
5 years
thinking
ago.
about that when Dan first came on the board, I remember he and I discussing, oh my gosh, the policies that we have linked on our website say model policy and we haven't even filled in the blank and put like Cook County. There's like a blank, you just write Cook County Schools or
And they hadn't even. done
ISD
that.
166, they've done nothing.
So my question is not to belabor this stuff, because it is a beautiful July day, but my interest is a little piqued. So like, these are two separate things, right? The legislature is doing just stuff and we as a district are getting better at administrating that stuff? Or is the legislative stuff actually helping the process of helping districts
No.
or is the legislative stuff just all
The
their own
legislature
agenda?
is always changing stuff that impacts policy.
Right, so
And our
there's no.
policies, we're just not really getting updated.
There's no effort at the legislative level to say, hey, districts might have a hard time keeping up with this, and this is part of the process we're building it, not at all.
Not at all. That's,
That's where MSB
Right.
helps us.
Oh, gotcha.
MSBA is a big helper and we pay for that membership
Yeah.
and we pay for their policy services. And that's why, because it's so impossible to keep up with the legislature. The formatting of policies and the making them look professional and standard, that's K-rated. And so she has made an effort, a very deliberate effort to start changing some of what you just said, Rena. Like get the right headers on them, get them numbered correctly, get the formatting of the titles the same.
Make sure that the school district is mentioned, things like that.
Right, yeah, little things like that. So thank you to Kay for.
It's not, so while I'm thinking about it, it's not just the policies on the website, it is the entire website. We've just really improved in our transparency and there's been a lot of hard work that's been done by recent staff.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
Too.
Did we
Need a vote.
vote? Okay, there was a
Um,
motion, discussion. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. And so we're on to 8.5, approve amended joint powers agreement with Northland Learning Center.
Yeah, and I'll give this a little context for board members. There is only one sentence changed in this. So this JPA has been in place for a long time. It's our relationship with Northland Learning Center. The Article 8, Section 2, the sentence was added any party rescinding their decision to withdraw prior to the effective date of the withdrawal shall be responsible for any and all additional costs where there are changed circumstances which could cost the NLC money or damages.
Sounds like Virginia left him with a bill,
Virginia has voted to leave, or Rockridge has voted to leave the collaborative. And the collaborative is in the process of building a new building and exiting the building in Virginia, because that thing's gonna fall down sometime in the near future. And so we've worked through 3 different legislative cycles to get to a place where we can afford to do this, because funding a construction of a collaborative building is very difficult since they can't just let bond like we can. So we've got it greased, we've got plans drawn up, we're at the point where we're about ready to pull the trigger. We've got 10 million from IRRB, we've got money from the legislature, we've got the authority to levy locally in all of our districts. Why we're doing this is just in case Rockridge changes their mind prior to us opening this building and all that kind of stuff. If they say, just kidding, we want to be in, then all of a sudden we have to build a bigger building and have a different, scope in the project. So this protects us by saying, if you change your mind, you're responsible for the additional costs incurred. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's to protect the other districts in the collaborative.
Mess.
Well, man, yeah,
At this point, are they still included in that agreement?
they are in the JPA, yes. Yeah, and their exit date, it's like a full calendar year before that.
Brexit,
Yes.
the Brexit.
Exactly.
Right. And we know how well that went.
Exactly. Ugh.
So
Only this would be a virgin? What would this be?
Rockridge.
Yeah, I like it.
So what you're approving is the new updated JPA.
You're so witty today, guys. Well, your little jokes. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
I,
Aye. All opposed, motion carries. 9.0, we're moving on to personnel. 9.1, new hires, resignations, and leaves of absence. And there are quite a few on our list. One I didn't realize, did we update one recently?
Yeah, absolutely we didn't. So the first couple of teacher hires on there, culinary arts, industrial tech, that is an annual process due to tier 1 licensure. We're really grateful for Tom Leslie and Jordy Kirk and the work they do to provide those courses for our students. Kirsten has requested a reduction due to her graduate work in schooling. On the resignation side, yeah, you can see what you can see. We want to definitely say congratulations to Scott Steinbach after 32 years of service to our district. I often go, why did you do that when you retire after all of our celebrations of retirees and all of that? But
Sometimes they don't want the celebration.
exactly. So Scott, thank you for 32 years at Cook County, plus a couple other years of teaching prior to being here. Julie Nelson retiring after many, many, many years here of unbelievable work, and we just appreciate all that she's done for our kids. And Jana Larson making that leave of absence that the board approved just over a year ago into an official retirement. Yeah, I didn't know that one came in, so thank you, Ms. Olberg, for navigating that. And then
That was the one I was surprised. at. I was like, oh, that was a formality. Sort of expecting it, but surprised at the same time.
so, Janet, with Janet leaving, she was on a leave of absence. Does that free up a position then? Or
no, we've already hired
Position was
that.
already filled.
even though she was, sometimes that doesn't happen. Someone's
Right.
on leave, you do a fill behind or something.
Right, we went ahead and hired.
Okay.
I think this is a financial thing for her.
So anticipated changes for us would be the position that's advertised because of Scott's retirement.
Correct,
We're always looking for more paraprofessionals
correct.
and some long-term subbing positions that will be available.
Yep, and the long-term sub positions, the interviews were today, so I think that's pretty much wrapped up.
Okay.
But that slot that Scott Steinbach with his retirement, that is open, and if we can hire that, that would be great. We're tentatively planning right now on running one section of kindergarten instead of two because the number is really low as predicted. We knew that was gonna happen. And then move Emily up to a higher grade level.
So would that reduce the need for the,
No, we would still need to hire that if we can. Fourth grade all of a sudden is at 29.
oh.
So it's crazy. We keep adding kids.
Mhm.
So
Well, that's a good.
that's a good problem.
It's a good problem to have, yeah, wonderful. Do we have a motion to accept the new hires resignations and leaves of absence?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion?
Just thanks to all these three people, because they were here in lean years and good years and bad years, and appreciate that kind of longevity.
Two of them were my teachers.
That's
And
itself right there.
I'm either really young or they've been here that long, and they were wonderful then and dedicated for a long time.
I believe you mentioned a number of 30-some years, so I think it's B. Those two things you laid out.
Well, geez, thanks for your little jokes. For real, thank you so much for their wonderful years of service. They've been three really integral people on our team. So. All in favor? You do motion, I took a second. We've already motioned, that was our discussion.
Right.
To make sure we say
Thank you.
great appreciation to these people, and then all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. And 10.0 to adjourn our regular meeting. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
All right, he beat me to it. Second.
Do we have any discussion?
Well.
No more great jokes? And say, instead of saying, my kids have gotten into Alexa roast me, I can say, Rena, Eric, roast me. Come up with some.
I think she roasted Virginia, not you.
And Iowa,
I think you roasted me
Yeah.
again there.
Yep, I'll
But
bet.
if you haven't tried it, Alexa will roast you. It's really silly.
Really?
Yeah.
How personal does Alexa know me? Like,
You don't want to know.
oh, no
Yeah.
kidding.
It's been lovely dinner table
Adjourn-
banter.
adjourn
So-
meeting.
Motion carries, we're done.
all right.
Or we did vote, right?
We
Yes, we did.
can. We
Okay.
did. We're good.
Yeah, some of that social media stuff when you're like,
5:25.